Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich with your Witchy Wednesday. This month of April, wow, we are in the month of April already. We are going over herbs and resins and ones that I like to use in my magical practice, but also ones that are out there and available for the masses and aren't incredibly expensive. The one that I'm talking about today is Dragon's Blood, and surprisingly, it's gone up in value, like a lot. Um, I'm on Mountain Rose Herbs right here. It's $37.50 American for 4 ounces. Um, Now, a little bit goes a long way with Dragon's Blood, and if you haven't seen it before, let me go ahead and do that. You know, it is very large chunks, and a couple large chunks of that will go a long way. Whenever it's in the powdered form, there you go. Now you can probably find it at many metaphysical stores. I would venture to guess that you can find it at many metaphysical stores. Um, Excuse me, got the hiccups or the burps. I just ate dinner and whatnot, so yeah, we're just gonna go right through it. Drink my Pepsi? Pepsi. If you want to sponsor this, I'll hawk your shit. But otherwise, not sponsored. Okay. So, and I also have to kind of apologize for my appearance here. I look like a hot damn mess, or at least I feel like I look like a hot damn mess. Um, I have been doing housework and whatnot today, just cleaning up here and there, doing a lot of laundry, and yeah, I didn't really feel like I could get a shower, get dressed, be presentable and whatnot, and make this video. And I wanted to get the video done on Monday, so therefore it is on Patreon for our Patreon patrons. Shout out to our Patreon patrons. We have Sophia, Linda, and Tyler. Thank you very much for your sponsorship for the Christo-Pagan church that we are starting. Um, I'll address that in a future video of the timeline and things that I have going on for that. But thank you for the continued support to get this up and running and going. It also goes towards keeping Christo-Paganism.com, which I just wrote an article on, I think it was yesterday, on Sunday. I posted an article all about the slap heard round the Oscars, the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock controversy, and where I stand on the whole bullshit. So, yeah, go ahead and read that. Link is down below for Christo-Paganism.com. Um, I need to post more on there. I really do. Um, let's see, what else? What else? If you would like to support me as an individual, hit up that link down below for my eBay store. If you want to support this channel in other ways and you don't have the financial means to, totally okay. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit that like or dislike button. Doesn't matter at all. Appeases the algorithmic gods of YouTube. All hail the algorithmic gods of YouTube. Make sure that you comment and share on your social media platforms if that is safe for you to do so. Anyway, we're going to get into Dragon's Blood. This is one of my favorite resins. Doesn't have a lot of scent whenever you first have it in the chunk form. Even in its powdered form, it doesn't have a lot of scent, but whenever you burn it on a charcoal disc, my gosh, it's phenomenal. It's a very elegant scent. To me, it's like a more of a heavy scent. Anyway, I'm going to, if I can get my mouth to work, I'm going to be reading some excerpts from this is learnreligions.com, because I think they have a lot of good things to say on here. And yeah, I didn't have a chance to go to several different sources. Just a little background. Yeah, couple things before we get into this. I'm gonna have a little sharing time because, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. First off, I'm helping a friend move that has a lot of stuff going from a large house that she has stayed in for what, 30 years, I think it was. Sorry, I have itchy tear ducts. Anyway, uh, larger house. I think it's a 3 or 4 bedroom house that is completely jam packed with stuff. She's a flea marketer and an eBayer and whatnot, friend of mine. And she's moving from that house to a smaller 2 bedroom, 55 and over community. So a lot of moving of things and figuring out what she wants to keep and not to keep. And yeah, that's what I'm working on or what I was working on Friday. And then I will be working on that on Thursday and Friday this week, possibly Friday, definitely Thursday as of right now. Um, on top of that, getting the house in order, um, because, well, you just got to clean up. And also, I had a death in the family. A cousin of mine who is a jeweler um, in Erie, Pennsylvania. He passed away, and just kind of coping with that for one, and for two, also, um, we weren't on the best of terms because of his political standings and my political standings did not exactly meld very well. He seemed, and whenever I was younger, he seemed to have more liberal type of views, and now he has, or he had, uh, according to his Facebook posts and all that stuff, which was our primary means of communication, and seeing what each other was up to, had more conservative leanings to the extreme. And, between when I found this out on Saturday night and yesterday, oops, bumping the mic there, and even into today, and I'm not going to really edit this out or edit this down because it's like 8:20 on Monday. So, yeah. Anyway, these last couple days, last 3 days, I have been sitting there and like, how do I cope with, I didn't really reach out to him. And it's one of those things like whenever you're not involved in somebody's life, yes, you still mourn them. You mourn them for, them being a family member that cared about, but how do you reconcile that in your mind with, I could not stand certain political leanings, and why would you do that? And why would you say something like that, knowing how much it could hurt somebody like me in the community that I am in? Being the type of person that that I am and that other family members are, how could you lean in those certain fields and whatnot? So it's something that I'm unpacking by myself, and just rattling around in my brain how I cope with that and how I go on. And of course we do go on, we must go on, but yeah, it's something that I'm rattling around in my brain thing. So yeah, that kind of got me into doing the housework and everything, because whenever I'm really cathartic, I start doing housework and I start processing things through my mind. And that's one of the things on my mind the last couple days because it just happened, obviously. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get on into Dragon's Blood. And we're just gonna, do this as a free for all. So anyway, like I said, Dragon's Blood, one of my favorite resins to work with. I use it in just about everything that I do. First things first, it has been, and caveat, it has been in the past, the caveat being that I am not a doctor. I do not give medical advice. Do not take this as medical advice, all that stuff. Okay, caveat over. It has been in the past used as a kind of a cure-all, mostly for digestion nowadays, but in the past it was used as a cure-all for many different things. And I did have a list of things listed, which I just lost. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna, You know what? I'm going to do this by the seat of my pants. Um, so, dragon's blood has been used for sacred practices. It has been used for medicinal uses. Little thing to this, if you are pregnant, do not use dragon's blood. It has actually been used in the past as an aid for abortion. So, yeah, unless you want to get rid of that baby, and I would not suggest, and baby, I mean fetus, um, because baby is born legally. That's the terminology. Anyway, excuse me. Um, unless you want to get rid of the fetus that is inside of you, I would not suggest using this. And even then, I would not suggest using the dragon's blood, because you don't know what other effects it could have. Let's have a safe, accessible type of procedure that you can have done that is, as of right now, this recording, legal, depending on where you're at in the United States. Whole other subject to get on there. And I think I've touched on abortion. I think I've done an abortion video. If I haven't, let me know. One of y'all out there that know, like, all the videos I do, y'all can tell me if I've done a video on abortion. But I think I've made my thoughts pretty clear in past videos. Pretty sure. Anyway, talking about dragon's blood. If you are pregnant, nursing, or taking certain medications, do not use dragon's blood on your person. I would probably say, if you are in any one of those categories, seek a doctor's advice before using it. Okay, so covered the medical stuff. Now, the real reason that everybody's here is the witchy stuff. So this has been used in spiritual practices for, I would say, millennia. Let's see here. And this is what I really had learnreligions.com up for, so I didn't miss any of them. It's associated with the element of fire. And I didn't come up with the reason that we have it, or how we have it. It's actually part of, like, a sap that, just like frankincense and myrrh, whenever you cut the tree, the sap comes out and it forms this this reddish type of resin. That I keep on grabbing the same piece. Give me a different piece. Something that, see, you can see how the, whoops, there we go, how it shines there. That's the sappiness of it. But it is very easy to break down in a mortar and pestle. Very, very easy. Makes a powder very quickly. Actually, I have a little bit right here that just came off, and you can literally crush it with your, get some ASMR in there. Yeah, you can crush it with your fingers, and it gives that nice reddish tint, which has actually been used in dyes. It has been used in cosmetics. It has been used in paint. And yeah, it's actually even been used as ink, which we'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, associated with the element of fire, and it's not necessarily endangered. I did not see anything on it as far as it being endangered. This video is all over the place. I do apologize. In some traditions, this is a quote, in some traditions of folk magic, the resin is blended into an oil, dragon's blood oil. You use dragon's blood oil to anoint candles or to dab your wrists to enhance your personal power. Create a money drawing oil by adding bits of lodestone into dragon's blood oil. Or add cinnamon and pieces of rose quartz to create a love oil. For purification magic, add a few pieces of hematite or onyx, along with rosemary or sage, into your oil and use it to anoint your doors and windows. This will help keep negative energy outside of your home, end quote. So, yes, dragon's blood has so many uses. I want to get to the part where they say, in some Wiccan traditions, here's part of it. It is used in healing, protection, and banishing. Many pagan paths believe that adding dragon's blood to any other incense or herb blend will increase the potency of the original mix, which is one reason that I use it. You can get it as an ink, and you can use it in spell work. In some traditions, you can use it for love magic, and using that dragon's blood ink to write on a piece of paper the person that you want to have love you, and then crossing it with your name, and then folding it up with a little bit of dragon's blood on there. You throw it on a charcoal disc. There you go. I do not suggest doing love spells for a particular person, but just one example that I've seen. Okay, I usually use dragon's blood as a way to give an extra boost to whatever I'm doing. So if it is my money oil, which I have sitting right there, I will add a little bit of dragon's blood into that. Gives a little bit of a boost. I think I added it to, and I have it written down, to the altar incense that I make. I add it to just about everything that I do, which is why I have such a large amount sitting around. I use it all the time. I use it just as an incense in and of itself, by itself. I don't really use it as much for protection, but, you know, if I were to do a protection spell with dragon's blood being a primary resin in the incense, then it would probably be an additive in order to boost. I usually don't just do one herb or incense type of, or one herb or resin type of incense. That's just not how I roll. Dragon's blood ink, you can actually get this online. You can get dragon's blood ink and get a nice little, get a fountain pen. You would want a dip pen, not necessarily one like this. But if you have a fountain pen and you have a converter that you can put the ink into, you can actually do that. And then you can use that ink in your spell work. One thing I would like to actually see, if somebody has it out there, is like a Book of Shadows entry completely in dragon's blood. I think that would look fantastic. However, I would want to use the dragon's blood ink a little bit more sparingly. I have seen it in a bath, like a bubble bath, and I've actually had it before. Not my favorite thing, but it is a very cleansing type of bath, but it didn't really have that much scent to it, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. It also says that you can anoint yourself with dragon's blood oil for empowerment and protection when you're doing any sort of dream journeys or astral travel. This is even good on the just the daily basis. If you are one of those people out there that like to smell of patchouli, try dragon's blood, mix it up a little. One of my first experiences, actually my first experience with dragon's blood, is a friend of mine who was a practicing Wiccan at the time, and then she went to Pagan, and then she kind of got a little too down the conspiracy rabbit hole, and yeah, her and I haven't spoken in a long time because of some of the lying and manipulative things that she's done, having nothing to do with her practice or anything like that. But she, I think, was more in it for the ooh and awe, or the looks that she would get from people, rather than an actual spiritual journey. And yeah, anyway, she had dragon's blood oil, and she used to give me a little, like, she had it in a roll-on, and she used to roll on a little onto my wrists, and I absolutely loved that scent. I kind of fell in love with it at that point, and this is talking sophomore year in high school. So what is that, 10th grade? I think it was 10th grade whenever she brought that in. Maybe it was 9th. Anyway, doesn't matter. It was either 9th or 10th grade. And she would just roll on a little bit every day, and you know, it kind of did without me even realizing the effect. It did have the effect of personal empowerment and personal protection and whatnot. So that's the joy of these oils and herbs and resins and whatnot whenever you use them, not knowing um, necessarily why you're using them. And sometimes people just intuitively grab something and throw it into an herbal mixture and then find out later this was actually a good bet. Um, so it's kind of interesting how those things work out. Let's see. They have here some traditions use dragon's blood in love spells, particularly if you hope to receive a marriage proposal. Um, use it in an herbal sachet for healing magic related to bleeding, especially involving women's reproductive issues. So I'm just going to let that one just stay there because I am not one qualified to talk on women's reproduction issues. I think we've already talked about that earlier in this video. But yes, mostly I use it to give an extra magical boost, and I absolutely love this resin. And I think that uh, Annie has probably a better video on Dragon's Blood, and I would refer anybody and everybody to go to Annie's channel and check out her Kiffy videos whenever she was making her Kiffy incense, and check out the one on Dragon's Blood. She does give a lot of information on that. This one has been all over the place, and I do apologize for that. My brain is just kind of a rambled mess today. Yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave that. I do apologize for the subpar video. Yeah, just a lot of things going on here. And you know what? While I'm on it, if y'all want to stay and listen to a little rant, then go ahead. If you don't, I understand, whatever. But if you're going to leave a comment on, I'm sorry about your cousin, stuff like that. I was thinking about this, oddly enough, going to Dover on Saturday before I even heard of the news. Turns out he died, I think it was on Thursday? I think it was Thursday that he died. And I didn't hear about it until like midday Saturday. So Saturday morning, I'm driving down to Dover. And I started to do as I normally do. I end up talking to myself and rambling through these things that are on my mind. And I was on the subject of, why people say they're sorry. And I hear it so much, especially nowadays, whenever people have disagreements about their political views, this and that. And whenever somebody says, I'm sorry, but... It's like, why would you say you're sorry? If you have a political view that is, gotten to in the most honest way, and you don't have any reason to be sorry, why would you be sorry? And then I got onto the subject of, again, me talking to myself in the car. If you are, saying you're sorry for somebody's loss, unless you killed the person, you have nothing really to be sorry for. You could say, I'm sorry that I can't be there or something of that nature, but yeah, my relationship with the whole I'm sorry of this and that, yeah, it has really changed in the last, I'd say, probably couple months. I've been having this issue come up time and time again. Every time somebody says something, and I start to say I'm sorry, and then I stop myself and I say, no, I'm not sorry about this. This is what is morally justified or morally right, in my opinion. And if I'm wrong, let it be known that I am wrong. But as of right now, this is my view, and this is how I either justify or don't justify something that you're talking about. And I don't have a reason to be sorry about that. And yeah, I just had a nice little talk with myself. So, I mean, if you're going to leave a comment saying that you're sorry for a loss and all that, I do appreciate that. Because I know the sentiment is there. But I just want to also challenge people who have made it this far that you kind of examine why you're saying you're sorry. Is it that you are sorry that you can't be there? Are you sorry that somebody has to go through it, but then again you had no control over it, so why are you sorry for it? That type of thing. Like, I just want to challenge people with this little rant of, why do we say that we're sorry? Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for listening to my little rant, and for something I'm legitimately sorry for, this long-ass video that just ended up being a complete ramble of my brain thing and a little bit about Dragon's Blood. Sorry about that. Y'all deserve better. Anyway, that's all that I have. And for that, I am sorry. Until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye.